The golf world stood still when a 15-year-old boy stepped onto the course and delivered a performance that felt almost otherworldly. With an effortless swing that mirrored his legendary father, Tiger Woods, and a composure far beyond his years, Charlie Woods did the unthinkable 11 consecutive birdies, stealing the spotlight at the PNC Championship and leaving fans and pros in absolute disbelief. How does someone this young handle such pressure? How does a teenager carry the weight of a legacy so great and still rise above it now? The story continues. Charlie Woods returns to competition, set to play alongside his father once again at the PNC Championship. Tiger himself tweeted that he couldn't be more proud, not just as a legend, but as a dad. Born into a family that lives and breathes sports, Charlie has grown up under the watchful eye of greatness, and yet somehow he's carving out his own path. This isn't just about golf, Anna Marie, it's about legacy, pressure, and destiny, and the moment when a son begins to step out of his father's shadow. From the very beginning, Charlie Woods was surrounded by the world of golf, but his journey wasn't just about inheriting his father's passion. It was about discovering his own identity within it. Tiger Woods made one thing clear. He never wanted to push his children into golf. Instead, he encouraged them to find their passions naturally, to explore, to fall in love with the game, not the fame. And that freedom became Charlie's foundation that it allowed him to thrive, not just as a golfer, but as a complete young athlete, growing in confidence, skill, and purpose. But Charlie's name itself carries a legacy far deeper than most realize. His first name, Charlie, is believed to be a tribute to Charlie Sifford, the first black golfer ever to compete on the PGA Tour. Sifford wasn't just a pioneer. He was a friend and mentor to Tiger's father, Earl Woods. To name his son after a man who broke barriers and changed golf forever was no coincidence. It was a statement of respect, heritage, and history. And now, that legacy continues through Charlie, a young man walking the fairways not just in his father's footsteps, but in the footsteps of those who made the journey possible. Even as Tiger continues his recovery, battling through pain and perseverance, his greatest pride isn't just in what he's achieved, it's in watching his son begin to write a new chapter in the Woods family story. From the start, Charlie Woods showed a natural gift for sports, much like his father. While Tiger's journey into golf began at the astonishing age of 2, Charlie picked up his first club at just 4 years old, and from that very first swing, it was clear the apple hadn't fallen far from the tree. There was something effortless about it. The rhythm, the confidence, the joy. Golf wasn't just a sport for him. It was a part of who he was, despite being the son of one of the most celebrated golfers in history. Charlie's approach to the game felt pure, fun, unforced, and full of curiosity. Tiger Woods played a guiding role in nurturing that spark, but never overshadowed his son's journey. He wanted Charlie and his sister, Sam, to explore everything: soccer, running, teamwork, and competition. Because for Tiger, parenting wasn't about creating the next golf star, it was about raising balanced, grounded kids who would discover their own path. Still, as Charlie grew, that small spark on the golf course began to burn brighter. And during the global pandemic, when the world seemed to stop, Charlie's focus on golf truly began. Away from crowds and cameras, it was just a father and son, learning, laughing, and rediscovering what the game was really about: love, patience, and legacy. As the months passed, Charlie's love for golf only grew stronger. It was during this quiet period, away from the noise of crowds and competition, that the world began to witness something truly special. Charlie Woods wasn't just following in his father's footsteps. He was beginning to carve out his own. The story of Charlie Woods isn't just about talent. It's about legacy, family, and the freedom to chase one's passion. With a rich history behind him and a powerful support system beside him, Charlie's potential felt limitless, and soon, the world would see why. His first introduction to golf came at just 4 years old, and even then, there was something unmistakably extraordinary about the way he moved. Early clips of a tiny Charlie swinging a golf club began to surface online, and almost overnight, they went viral. Fans from around the world couldn't help but notice it. The posture, the tempo, the focus. Every motion carried an echo of Tiger Woods, yet with a rhythm uniquely his own. While most kids his age were still learning to play for fun, Charlie seemed to understand the game on a deeper level, instinctively reading the course, trusting his swing, and showing glimpses of greatness. But what made Charlie's early talent even more fascinating was his balance. Despite his growing fame, Tiger made sure his son stayed grounded, playing soccer, spending time with family, and learning teamwork and humility. Because for Tiger, greatness wasn't just about winning, it was about character. And as Charlie's swing began to draw comparisons to his father's, one thing became clear: the next generation of Woods had arrived, and the world was watching. As a child, Charlie's world wasn't just about golf. He found joy in soccer, often playing matches with his sister Sam. Tiger Woods once shared how much his kids loved the sport, how their family weekends were often spent not on the fairway, but on the soccer field. And that was always Tiger's approach as a father. Never to push, only to guide. He didn't want his children to feel the weight of his legacy. He wanted them to find their own. For a time, it even seemed like Charlie might choose soccer over golf. But then came 2020, a year that changed everything. With the world on pause and soccer fields empty, Charlie's focus quietly began to shift back to the game that had always been there, waiting for him: golf. Day after day, he practiced alongside his father. No crowds, no cameras, just the sound of two clubs striking balls into the distance. And in that silence, something incredible began to take shape. Charlie's swing grew smoother, his precision sharper, his confidence unshakable. What started as a hobby was quickly turning into something far greater, and even Tiger could see it. Though cautious about raising expectations, he couldn't ignore what was unfolding before his eyes. His son wasn't just playing golf anymore, he was mastering it, and soon, the entire world would get to witness it for the first time, on one of the biggest stages in golf, the PNC Championship. "It's been a long and challenging year," Tiger Woods said. "I'm very excited to close it out by competing in the PNC Championship with my son, Charlie." December 2021, a moment that would forever redefine the Woods legacy. The PNC Championship wasn't just another event. It was the turning point, the stage where Charlie Woods stepped into the light and proved to the world that he wasn't just Tiger's son. He was a force in his own right. Paired with his legendary father, Charlie faced pressure most adults could barely comprehend: cameras flashing, crowds swelling, and millions watching from around the world. But when the moment arrived, he didn't flinch. Instead, he rose. With a swing smooth as silk and a calm that mirrored his father's best years, Charlie delivered one of the most electrifying performances in junior golf history. 11 consecutive birdies. For a 12-year-old, it was nothing short of unreal. The chemistry between father and son was unbreakable. Every high five, every shared smile, every silent nod said more than words ever could. They didn't need to win that weekend, because what they gave the world was bigger than a trophy. It was a glimpse of the future. The way Tiger looked at his son after that final putt said it all: pride, legacy, continuity. The Woods name had entered a new era, and though John Daly and his son took the title, it was Charlie and Tiger who stole the show. From that day forward, the question was no longer if Charlie Woods would make history, it was when. Orlando, Florida, Championship Saturday. Under the warm sun, two figures walked side by side, both dressed in matching peach-colored polos. Tiger Woods and his son, Charlie Woods, teeing off at the PNC Championship. Earlier that month, Tiger had announced their plans to compete together, calling it a welcome full-circle moment. But no one, not even Tiger himself, could have predicted what would happen next. From the first swing, the crowd felt it: the rhythm, the power, the precision. Charlie didn't just resemble his father. He was his father's reflection on the course: the posture, the focused stare, the signature fist pump, even the confident stride down the fairway. It all felt hauntingly familiar. Watching Charlie play was like watching a younger Tiger Woods, fearless, composed, and utterly electric. The way he handled the pressure that weekend was nothing short of extraordinary. For most 12-year-olds, the moment would have been overwhelming. For Charlie, it was an invitation, and he owned it. Professionals and analysts across the golf world took notice. Experts began studying his swing frame by frame, and the verdict was unanimous. Charlie Woods' mechanics were far beyond his years: his balance, his tempo, his transition at the top. Every motion carried the DNA of greatness: refined, disciplined, yet effortlessly natural. Charlie wasn't just imitating his father's legacy, he was advancing it. The torch had been passed, not with words, but with a swing. What separates good golfers from great ones is precision. And what separates great ones from legends is controlled. Just 15. Charlie Woods is both. Experts across the golf world have been stunned by his poise, his rhythm, and his mechanics. Movements so smooth, so effortless, they seem almost rehearsed by time itself. His swing doesn't just mirror Tiger's. It's something entirely his own, that a perfect fusion of instinct and discipline. Renowned golf coach Jonathan Yarwood has called Charlie's technique a masterclass in balance and timing. He points out the way Charlie redirects the club with precision, using his body's natural motion to generate both power and accuracy. This isn't just talent, Yarwood said. This is understanding. What he does with that club, most seasoned pros still struggle to master. Another expert, Darren Deal, agrees. He highlights Charlie's rare ability to sink his entire body into a single, fluid motion, connecting his arms, legs, and core into one seamless force. Many golfers spend decades trying to find that connection. Charlie seems to have been born with it. But it isn't just physical mastery that's catching the world's attention. It's his mindset. Under the heat of competition, surrounded by cameras and crowds, Charlie remains calm, composed, unshaken. His focus doesn't break. His confidence doesn't waver. Analysts often say that watching Charlie play feels like stepping back in time, like witnessing a young Tiger Woods all over again. The technique, the mindset, the stage presence, all signs point to one truth: Charlie Woods isn't just chasing greatness, he's growing into it.